Wake up and flee. Party on 999. Party on
Hey guys. We're gonna do a work story time mukbang. So I got my Minute Maid from Dunkin' Donuts, my grapes from Alipay, and my bacon, egg, and cheese on an English muffin because the bitch is hungry, and I was like, might as well get my life. So the story time has to do with work and hopefully praying every single time I get like a story time up, it succeeds through, and it literally will get my life, right? I put chia seeds in it, like this type of chia seeds, black chia seeds. It's actually good. Oh, we're gonna talk about the time that my cousin, the time that I stabbed my cousin. That's gonna be hilarious. So we're gonna talk about that because that's a badass story time. I've been filming that story time for the past 3 months and shit hasn't been going through. So we're gonna get into it. So basically, I was if you guys love English muffins, if you guys love English muffins, comment down below. Because I just love English muffins, so. But anyway, I was like probably like 10, like 9 or 10. And it was around the time where I just got out of court of telling the judge who I wanted to be with, who wants to take full custody of me, between my biological mother and my cousin, who I live with. Been living with since I've been 6 weeks old. Lord. And I was still trying to go to school like every other child does in middle school. Yeah, I was in middle school because because Bria was old enough. So T.Maqua.Bell, which is more, I wanted to hang up. Now, I really didn't want to hang out with my cousins that much. No shade, no tea. But when you're a child like me, you don't have time to deal with your cousin's BS, especially when it comes to your toys or your belongings and all this like that. Like it gets ridiculous. And growing up as a child, I didn't care. You know what I mean? I didn't care. And it's going on 8:23. I'm in my office because the mall doesn't open until 10. So I didn't care. So for me, I wanted to be able to go through and hang out. My mom wanted us to hang out all the time, me and my cousins. So basically, I asked my cousin Lake to come over. I don't care about specifying names, but I asked Lake to come over. She says fine, but then she goes, Munch wants to come over, and their niece wants to come over, which is my other cousin. And I said fine, that's whatever. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I told them to come over on Saturday because Fridays are my days when my sister was alive and she used to live at her own place with my niece Bria. And for me, Fridays was my motherfucking day. You know what I'm saying? Because T.Maqua.Bell wanted to be myself, watch my TV, watch my Disney Channel, watch all my channels, and be by myself and sleep in the damn living room until Saturday morning. So my cousins came over. We had a blast. I was kind of irritated because my cousin Munch was always in her feelings every single time she comes over to my house. I didn't understand why. You know? Like, why you mad? Why you in your feelings when you're at my house? Like, you asked to come over, chill, relax, play. If you don't got nothing to do at your house, and sleep over and then go home. And that was my issue. So it was an issue because my mom gave everybody money to go to the corner store. This is the first issue. And we went to the corner store, and me and Munch got at it because she was just like, how can you got more money than I have? Like, speaking, and I'm like, boo-boo. My mother gave me money, and my mother's gonna give me money no matter fucking what. And she had an issue about that. And I got really irritated because I'm just like, yo, you're really bugging right now. It is like, what, you're at my house. Like, boom. So, the day went by, and you know, Lake always goes to sleep early. My younger niece always went to sleep. We're chilling, we're having a good time, right? And nighttime, Munch is like, oh, I want to go home. I'm like, alright, cool. You can go home in the morning. Once my mom comes from, or you can go home in the afternoon once my mom comes back from, what's it called? Comes back from the Kingdom Hall. So, this is really weird. She's like, oh, side note, if you keep seeing me looking up, I'm looking at the cameras because I'm trying to see if my girl is going to come in to work. But she's like, she said something really smart. I didn't pay no mind to it. At the time I was watching Resident Evil. So, I'm like, whatever. So all of a sudden, she, the next morning, we're up and we're listening to music. And you know, YouTube wasn't known around when I was younger. YouTube wasn't kind of like the it factor that it is now. But when I was younger, Yahoo Music was the SHIT. So, we was dancing, we're vibing, we're talking, we're, you know, laughing and joking around, and Munch is just in her funk. And I'm just like, yo, are you serious right now? Like, we're really having an attitude at my house though. And she's like, I just want to go home. I don't understand this. I don't understand why I couldn't go home early, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, you didn't want to go to the Kingdom Hall, so at the end of the day, it's like, you have to stay behind home, be quiet, and legit wait until my mom comes home so she can drop you off. Like, you're making a big deal out of nothing, and it's kind of irritating. And I'm telling you, like, every single time she does that, it's like, girl, shabai. So, she starts getting mad. And for me, I don't care if you get mad. But as a child, I wasn't how I am now. I wasn't so cautious about people's feelings and like basically direct. I wasn't so direct to you. I will keep it to myself and call it a day. As I am now, I'm gonna cuss you I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out. Like, I'm legit gonna come at you. Like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna put my foot down, I'm gonna come at you. But when I was younger, I wasn't like that. I was always I was not straightforward how I am now. I was always stand back. I was always like the girl that always used to get cussed out by people and get bullied. And for Munch, it was kind of like, for a tit for tat. Like, she was the same thing, how she, you know, she's different from how she is now. The chick will fight all the time. And when she was younger, she wasn't about that. It was more about, I'm gonna yell and scream at you until I get my way. It was like, no, boo boo, you in my house. You ain't about to yell and scream in my house and get away with it. Because at the end of the freaking day, I'm going to back down at any given moment. So I full on was just like, if you want to, I got frustrated because it's like, you're going to keep talking like, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home. I'm going to say, go home. So she's like, can we wake up Meow? Can we wake up Meow? Which is my other cousin's nickname that we call her. We call her Meow. Meow. So I was like, I don't care. Mind you, me and my cousin Meow were close. Like, we was like this. We're like this. Till this day, we're like this. Like, that's my girl. Like, I love her. Even though we went through some shit when we was younger, that's still my girl. So we live, literally, my house is right here. My cousin's house is right here. Meow's house is right here. So we're literally 4 doors down from each other. And that's how close we were. So Munchie's like, I'm going to call her. It's going on like about 10 o'clock. Mel's at the Kingdom Hall right about now. The Kingdom Hall doesn't end until 2. So you're complaining, and it's 11 o'clock right now. Like, no one's listening to you right now. No, it's going on 12 actually. And Mel doesn't get out of the Kingdom Hall until they don't get out of the Kingdom Hall until 2 o'clock. So I was just like, yo, you're bugging. So I said, Munch, if you want to go home, go home. Cause at this point, Scooby-Doo's on, and I'm tired, and you talking over Scooby-Doo right now, and it takes so much for someone to hear, like, it takes so much to hear Scooby-Doo's mouth, and you talking over Scooby-Doo. That basically means that you need to go, you need to shut up or go. And she's like, I'm not going. I don't know where my I was like, okay, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know where your house is, then shut up. Like, why are you complaining? So as it got that point, I was just like, yo, get out of my house. Like, it takes so much when I was younger. Like, can you just get out of my house? So Lake is like, Munch, what do you want to do? Let's go outside. Let's go outside. And she's like, nope, I'm not feeling this. This is ridiculous. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. And I'm like, boo. No one asked you to come over. You decided to come over. And you're bugging right now. Like, you're bugging. No one has time for you. I don't have time for you. So if you are going to keep yelling and hollering, go home. And so I'm listening to music that's on Yahoo Music because it keeps, rewinding the music that we was playing. I think it was like 3OW or the Cheetah Girls around that time. And Munch goes into my bedroom and she starts throwing shit. And I hear her yelling and screaming in my bedroom. I'm like, yo, boo. One thing you don't do when it comes to my room is disturb my shit. So I went into the bedroom and I'm like, what's up? What's up? Like, and she's like, no, I just don't feel like you backing me right now. I said, what you mean backing you? You in my house though. Like, what you mean backing you? I can't back you if you hollering. I can't back you if you freaking coming at me because you want to go home. You decided to come to my house and you bugging right now. I would have been fine by my damn self with the money that my mom was saving to give me to go to the corner store down the street. Okay? Like, you're wilding right now, like, on some real. So she's like, forget it. So she ends up calling her mom. I'm like, all right, go, peace out, bye, deuces. And no lie, I was irking because I was like, yo, you're really irking me right now. So I ended up taking her stuff and I threw it. Okay, you crying, go home. I don't mean like crying like boo-hooing. I mean like crying because you whining so much. Go home. So she took me throwing her stuff. And literally taking my stuff and then throwing at my mother's picture. Hold up. Hold your brakes. I ain't trying to get my ass whipped because you want to throw my shit at my mom's picture. And she's a southern woman. She's from Montgomery, Alabama. She will cuss you the fuck out. And I didn't make a joke. So I went off. I went to the living room I open the door. And I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, get out, get out. I said, get out, get out. She's like, no. I was like, you crying so much about leaving, so get out. The door is open, get out. Like, how much am I going to say to you? Get out. So she's like, whatever, going. So I took her stuff and I threw it outside. And she goes outside and she closes. I close the door right behind her. She's banging on the door. Her sister opens the door. I go in the kitchen now. Because at this point, I'm about to black out. All of a sudden, I don't remember this much, but I do remember that I walked out the kitchen with a knife. And she's like, oh, you're going to stab me now? You're going to stab me now? I'm like, if you won't get out of my house, yeah. No lie, this went on until like 1:30. Because it was like around 12:30 since me and her fighting like this. It went on until like at least 1:30. The Kingdom Hall don't end until 2 o'clock. So we're going back and forth. And time is like going. So you don't notice the time until like everything slows down. And the only time it slowed down is when me and her was going at it I still had the knife in my right hand. I said, if you won't get out my house, I will stab you. Get out my house. She's like, that's a threat? I said, yes, it's a threat. A threat to you, so get out. And he's like, all right, whatever. I'm like, you keep saying whatever, get out. Your stuff is already outside, get out. Like Lake and Thing can stay. You can get out. And so all of a sudden, Lake is kind of like Lake and my other cousins in between us, and they're telling us to stop. I'm not hearing anything that Lake is saying. The Lake is on the left of me. I'm not hearing anything she got to say. Because at the end of the day, you're the older sister to your younger sister who's wilding right now. If she didn't want to come to my house, she could have said something. She could have stayed her black ass home. But she decided to come to my house and freaking spew so much hate about so much stuff. And it gets to the point, I'm not a reckless person. I'm definitely damn sure not ignorant. But when you come at me and gets to the point where you're over here just yelling and you're freaking acting like a fucking animal, then I'm going to come at you hard. Because it's like you're hollering for no reason. And she's just like, I don't understand you. And you're stupid enough to do... Okay, all right, get out. Like, the hardest time saying get out. So she's like, whoo. She's like, you think? So she ends up. I believe she ends up. Before she even said anything, she tried to lunge at me to hit me, and I back up. So I'm like, try. She said something, I forgot what she said, but she said something that was really ignorant to me. And I kind of like stepped forward. And I had the knife in my right hand, so at this point I'm about to lunge at her. So Lake comes over, and she tried to grab the knife from my right hand. I just remember lunging it at her. And I end up stabbing Lake inside in her wrist. Like legit right here. Her pressure point. Like literally like right here. I said her pressure point. Right here where her vein is. It was kind of close to her vein, but I didn't touch it, and then she started bleeding. So all of a sudden, Munch pushes me, and Lake's crying. I go into cousin mode, and I grab Laker, and I go into the bathroom, and I'm trying to rinse her, and then all of a sudden, Munch comes out the cut and grabs Laker by the arm, and pulls her out, and she runs out. So around this time, like I tell you, like the freaking time is going by fast. So around this time, I'm just like, so be it. So be it. So she's getting reckless. And all of a sudden, she's going back out. They run outside. They go to my cousin's house next door, and my aunt ends up calling the police. The police comes, and then around the time, I believe it's around 2:30, and my mom ends up always going to either Save-A-Lot or Stop and Shop across from the Kingdom Hall, and then she has to come back home. But my mother wouldn't let the cops over. I think they was trying to figure out what's going on with Lake at my friend's house, because they get out early. And I just remember just sitting there with the door open, and Bria walks in, my niece walks in, and she's like, there's cops outside, I'm just like, I know. And she's like, what happened? I said, I stabbed Lake because of Munch. And she's like, why would you do that? I'm like, because she was bothering me. So that was my excuse. That was my excuse. I was like, because she was bothering me. Like, I stabbed her because she was I was supposed to stab Munchie, but I stabbed Lake. And she's like, Bria's like freaking out, and she's like, "Is she okay? Is Lake okay?" And like, she's fine. She just got a wound on her wrist. That's it. Something bad. I didn't stab her in the throat. Like, so I went in my room and I just sat on the bed, and I think I was watching either ooh, I think I was watching either oh my god. I think I was watching I believe Clifford, because I didn't have no internet in my room. And I just remember just sitting there, and I still had the knife in my on my bed. And I'm like, look, it is what it is. I just remembered the cops coming over, and my mom just being really nonchalant. She was just like, if we have to go to court, we have to go to court, because my aunt called my mom and they went at it. And then so my mom was like, she always has an issue. That's all I kept hearing. She always has an issue. And so she always has an issue with Nene. It's not that serious. Like, go to the hospital, get checked. She said, nope, I didn't see you in court. I said, okay. I didn't go to school. I said, no, I went to school. They didn't really care. I went to school. I went to school on Sunday. So this shit happened on Sunday. I went to school on Sunday. And what was hilarious about it is that my court date was on that Friday. Immediately on that Friday. And she dropped the charges. Well, I dropped the charges. I'm like, you talking about taking me to court, and as soon as I get into court, you dropping charges. Like, okay, alright. Like, I was all in there, like, I was in there like swimming, like, alright, cool. My mom was like, just don't speak to them anymore. You know, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, alright, cool. You know, it's not an issue to me. I don't care. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy this. I'm gonna get this story time up soon, sooner or later. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. What was your, like, did any of you guys get into bad funk when it came to one of your cousins? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me your stories, and I definitely will be checking up on you guys. More videos coming soon. You know, we're gonna start off this Vlogmas for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm T.Maqua.Bell. I hope you guys stay blessed. Good morning, because it's 8:49 in Boston right now on the Thursday. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Stay blessed. Love you guys so much, and peace out.